Back. And time now to introduce my guest this weekend, the highly respected dance tutor, both in Scottish country dance, including round-the-room favourites, and all-time, Jessie Stuart from Keith. Jessie is retiring at the end of the year, but before we chat, here's her first choice of music. Well, of band, and the set of reels includes a tune composed for her. The band is that of Graham Mitchell, and all the reels by Graham. Kraken's, Jessie Stuart's Welcome in Dufton, and Bitter Lemon Reel. Graham Mitchell in a band there with Kraken's, Jessie Stuart's Welcome in Dufton, and Bitter Lemon Reel. Jessie Stuart, welcome in Beech Grove.
Thank you, Robbie. Lovely to be here.
A tune you must be proud of.
Oh, I certainly am. It's a tricky tune to play, but very proud that Graham composed such a lovely tune. And it just inspires the dancers. They go up a gear when they hear that tune. And Graham is a great player, band leader, and of course, excellent composer. He's composed some great tunes.
That three fit in so well together.
They do, and the link between them is tremendous. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you. Many years as a dance teacher and tutor, but now you're retiring. Was that a difficult decision to make?
No, not really, Robbie, because I'm lucky enough to have a young lad who's taken over the Scottish Country Dance class at Dufftown. He's doing a grand job. I've taken him to the dancing since he was about 9 or 10. I think he sort of got the bug when he went to a ceilidh, a local ceilidh, with his mum and enjoyed ceilidh dancing.
Who are you speaking about?
Gary Cool.
Oh, yes.
Gary Cool.
I know
yes.
Gary. Yeah.
Gary has been doing the Scottish country now for a few years at Dufftown, doing an excellent job, and now he's travelling abroad and taking weekend schools and what have you.
That's great then. Now you're giving up a teacher's job, but do you want to be giving up the dance floor, will you?
Oh, no. It's like going full circle, Robbie. I started when I was young at school, Scottish country dancing for years, and then I taught dancing for over 30 years, and now I'm going back to relax and just enjoy the dance.
Was it Scottish country dancing though, or was it Highland dancing you started on?
Oh, like many girls, I started with Highland dancing. And that's a good discipline. I mean, it learns you to have your posture right, and it's excellent. And it helps the country dancing as well, because you're doing steps and things that you can use within the country dance, because we have like the Glasgow Highlander step, we have rocking step and things. So it does help as you go through to Scottish country dancing. But of course, it was originally danced as men, not ladies at all, but there are very few men dancing Highland now.
Is it the Highland dancing you're saying was for men only?
Yes, originally men only.
Ah.
Yes.
Look at it now.
I know.
Look at it now.
It's taken over by the women, Robbie. It's like everything else.
I'll make no comment. Tell me this, did you get your teacher's certificate in Highland dancing? Or did you ever teach it?
No, I didn't. No, because I moved, my family moved, and I started Scottish country dancing when I was at Mortlock School in Dufftown. So I moved to that and thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah, was there a big class?
Yes, over 80 in the class. But you see, everyone danced. It was just my uncles and my mother and all relations. And it was just a community thing to do, Scottish country dancing.
And did you enjoy the discipline of the Scottish country dancing then?
Yes, it's my love of music, though. I think that's the main thing in the dancing. If it wasn't for the lovely music we have, I don't think I would be into it so much.
Well, there's so many dancing, hundreds, weights of space, jigs and reels. Is it the secret to learn all the different formations, like the reels of 3, 4 hands round and back, and half rights and left? Hey, I'm sounding like a professional here.
You're an expert, Robbie.
If only.
Yes, it's important. It's just learning the basics, the basic steps and the basic... It's just patterns, really, and you link them together. Some of the dances, they're well linked together and they run so smoothly, but others are a bit sort of haphazard and not danced so much.
But, I mean, how can you memorise them all? I mean, there's so many, there's new ones. We're on to book 49 for RSD.
I know, there are thousands and thousands of dances. I mean, but only a proportion of them are danced, you know.
Yeah.
The rest, I've got a shed full of books of dances, Robbie, I've never looked at.
What's your favourite tempo?
Oh, gosh, I love the Strathspey, of course. I really like coming from that area, Born Aberlour area, and it's near the Spey, and I really like the Strathspey. And I always make a point, and if I'm working with a musician, I link with the musician and get him to play the different types of Strathspey for the class, because that's important, I think. There's not enough of that done. Dancers should really learn about, or dance teachers, and more importantly, should learn about the different types of Strathspey, the different types of reel and what have you. And I find it very interesting for the classes to just listen to a musician playing the different types. The traditional Strathspey, then the sort of slow air pastoral sort of type, and then the Highland Schottische sort of type. I mean, it's 3 completely different types of Strathspey, and the musicians link with that, and it's great. You've got to link with the musicians while you're teaching?
I've been told by a few different folks, musicians, not dancers, that they didn't like a slow air being thrown into us this way.
No, that's it. And when I'm doing a class, when the musician has played that type of music, I tell the class that you can't do the proper Strathspey travelling step to a slow air pastoral type. You need the traditional to get that first da-rum-ba-dee, da-dum-ba-dee, that sort of first.
Now, when you're making up a dance programme, is it a balance then between the old favourites and the new ones just to get folk going, and the dances that are in fashion at the time, maybe?
Yes, really when I'm making up a programme, I think of the music instead of the dance. But you really have to start the dance programme with a very easy dance. For dancers and for the musicians, there's nothing worse than having a Montgomery's rant at the very start of a programme, and the poor band leaders who have travelled maybe for 3 hours, got their equipment on the stage, and they have to sit down and play for Montgomery's rant. It's just awful. So dance teachers should think of that.
You're just echoing what you've said before. You're all for the musician.
Yes, well, exactly. We don't appreciate the musicians enough, I don't think, because they have a lot of preparation before they come to play for Scottish country dancing or old time. Because the whole evening's programme, they're doing that before they come. They travel great distances to play. They play for maybe 4 hours, and then they have to pack up and travel all the way back again. And I mean, they're doing it for the love of playing, not for the money.
Aye, well, when we're on the subject of bands now, let's have your second choice.
Oh, it has to be Colin Dewar for Scottish country dancing. I think Colin is a master at the Scottish country dance playing. And I mean, many others too. But he has got that steady tempo for Scottish country dancing, and that lift in the music that you need when the legs are getting tired. He gives you a lift when he changes over. So, and I've worked for many years with Colin at classes and various dance holidays and what have you. And it's just you're working as one. It's really great.
Any particular track?
The Bonnie Lass o' Bonnicord. I like to use this one because it has an 8-bar introduction, and Colin starts by playing the 8 bars himself. And it's good for the dancers. They stand for 4 bars, then they acknowledge their partners on 5 and 6, then corners on 7 and 8. And it's getting the dancers to listen to the music. This is the important thing, I think. And then you hear the lovely lift when the band comes in and the dancers set off.
Well, we're around a wee table here just now. You nearly had me up on the floor there with you, but let's listen to it right now. So steady there. Colin Dewar with the Bonnie Lass upon a Cord. Very distinctive sound indeed. And second choice of my guest this week, Jessie Stuart. So steady there.
Oh, yes, lovely. Just get the lift for dancing there. And it's a lovely dance devised by John Drury of Aberdeen.
Yeah.
John, every dance was well planned and fitted together. I mean, really smoothly. All the formations going together.
Aye. Well, we've spoken about Scottish country dance and the Highland, so let's turn to old-time dance. Where did your introduction come for that?
Well, I taught at the summer school at Stirling University, and just by chance, I was walking back to the halls of residence when I met Charlie Todd, great dance teacher, and he was giving a lift to Susie Petroff from the States, fine musician, and she was being dropped off, and we just started chatting, and I said, we're going to dance at Airthray Castle, which is within the university grounds, in the evening. Would you like to join us? So they stayed on, and Susie played, and Charlie taught us the Lancers. And of course, Charlie, I love that because he had a whole story about the Lancers. And this is great. I think teachers, if they've got a wee bit of a story to tell, it's much better. So, and we all enjoyed that so much. And that must have been about 1988, I think.
Yeah.
Because the following year, I got Charlie up to do an afternoon class at Dufftown. And Jimmy Shan Jr. played for the class and the dance at night, the whole band. So it was excellent. I mean, we had a big crowd in the Memorial Hall, and that really was the start of the old time. I just was inspired to do something like that. And I mean, you get a variety in the old time, which you don't get maybe in Scottish country. You get the reels, jigs and strathspeys in Scottish country, but you get a wide variety in the old time.
Yeah, but some folk mix up, don't they, what the difference is between old time and sequence.
Yes, this is a thing. Sequence just means that you're all doing the same. So a Gay Gordon's is a sequence dance as well, if you think of it, because you're all doing the same, you see.
Yeah.
But
some better than others.
Well, the modern sequences come in, and that sort of is overlapped a wee bit, but I tend to just stick to the old time.
Yeah, well, just speaking with a typical old-time couple dance then, does it come in 16 or 32 bars, phrases all the time?
Yes, most of them do, because they're all built on the waltz step, or most of them are. Even the Gay Gordons has a wee bit of waltzing at the end, you see, but in a different tempo. But most of them are. There's sort of one or two odd ones, like La Rinka, very old dance, which is in 24 bars, so that's a test for the musicians. But most of them are in basic just 16, 32 bars. Apart from Lancers, it includes Lancers and quadrilles and things like that, of course.
I refer quite a lot to all the different volumes we did with Freeland, when introducing all these dances with 5 or 6 volumes, haven't you?
Yes, amazing. Freeland is just a way up high in my estimation. He's such a talented musician. I've worked in courses and in classes with Freeland, and of course with his books and what have you. And he's composed some crackers of tunes for some of the dances I have devised. So.
Yeah, and like the Scottish country dancing, are there more and more new ones coming in? How can you speak about a new old-time
dance? Well, as long as it's danced with the old time and an old time pattern, sort of the pattern of the dance, it's still the old time. Modern sequence, they have different sort of terminology for their dances, and it's a bit tricky with the feet, getting. But the old time, as long as it's in the old time style.
Have you devised any old time?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Quite a lot.
Aye.
50 odd, I think.
Oh,
so.
Very good, yeah. Difficult to find. You keep going on with the music to suit. So you're devising an old-time dance. Have you got a particular tune in mind then?
Oh, yes. Often that's the case. If you have a waltz that you like or whatever, or a march or whatever, you can fit the steps to the music. Yeah.
We started off that first tune, Jessie Stuart, in Dufftown. But you mentioned your Aberlour and you've been in Keith all these years. Why did you choose Dufftown?
Well, I suppose I spent the longest time in Dufftown, really. I went to school there from about the age of 9, and then I think I started dancing at 12. The Scottish Country Dance Club was formed in the school hall, in fact. There's an evening class, and the local minister's wife, May Stephen, taught the class, and we had a pianist, Tina MacLeod, a local lady, who played. And I spent most of my dancing time, I suppose, in Dufftown.
Well, that's well answered indeed. But away from Dufftown, you've travelled the world in teaching.
Yes, I've been so lucky to have had the experience of travelling twice to New Zealand, 5 times to America, I think, and all over Europe. So, I mean, you meet some amazing people en route there, and it's just amazing.
And Orkney's another favourite of yours.
Yes, I have great affinity with Orkney, and I've been dance festival every year in April for the past 9 years. And I retired from that earlier this year, but I'm going up as a guest next April. And I've devised a lot of dances, a little booklet, Orkney dances, and even for the island of Hoy, because it's like a dance weekend, the festival, but they have fringe events, and you travel by ferry to the islands. I do a workshop maybe in Hoy, and then there's a dance at night. And that's part of the fun, going in the ferry. And then I devised a dance, the midnight ferry, for Hoy, because the ferry comes at midnight to collect the dancers off the island, and it can be a wee bit choppy sometimes going back. But if you've got musicians on board and they'll play, you see, and you don't think about the sailing back to the mainland.
Well, when you plan a trip worldwide, let's say New Zealand, in the middle of the trip, you can't go into your shetty with all your music and everything. You must have to prepare enough a lot before you set off.
Oh, yes. You know, with anything, Robbie, you've got to prepare. That's the important part. You've got to be prepared well in advance for classes, especially going on a tour like that.
Yeah. And you'll meet in with a band there, so you've had to pass on the music
to
them.
You've got to link with your musicians well in advance,
Well, you're somebody like myself. I think preparation's 75% of it, isn't it?
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah.
Must have met some wonderful folks, though. I mean, in general, you've been speaking about them, but and some of the you've mentioned individuals, but
yes, you meet characters wherever you go, you know, and I make it a lot of fun. Of course, that's the important part. I think you've got to inspire dancers and give them praise where praise is due and things like that. And in New Zealand, I met John Smith, who was a Shetlander. He was a character, and he would appear at the classes to play fiddle, and he had his Fair Isle shorts, top and hat on to play at the classes.
But come on, you said you've got to give encouragement and praise him. Are you bad to deal with if they're not getting on well?
Oh, no, not at all. No, I just treat everyone the same, Robbie. Yes. I mean, you can't really knock people if they're not able to do the steps. I mean, some people can dance better than others. You know, we've all got rhythm in our bodies, so we should all be able to dance, but in different forms. So, I mean, you just have to encourage, I think, and make it an enjoyable lesson.
Yeah, well, but you're just gradually stepping down. But I understand you had a great party as an official retirement party.
Yes, the local club organised a party after our October weekend when everyone from the south was there. We have some great weekends at Dufftown where people travel from quite a distance to attend. And, of course, they decided to have the party on the Sunday afternoon. And Colin Dewar and Alistair MacLeod played, and Graham Mitchell came along to play, and Ian Cruikshanks and Hebby Gray came. So it was a lovely afternoon, and the club did really well in organising it.
What's your hopes for the future of all types of dance, then? Is it healthy?
Well, I hope it'll remain healthy. I mean, the numbers vary, you know, they go down, and I know the Scottish country dancing worldwide is down, but hopefully things will go around and maybe come back. Things change, and it's not like what it used to be where everyone was in a community and you all sort of joined in the village halls and what have you. People are travelling now and to work and come back, and they maybe don't want to go out and dance in an evening. But it's the best form of exercise you can get, so I hope that it'll continue to flourish. I'm sure it will.
Jessie, thank you very much, and congratulations for all you have done. Final track of music.
Final track is a track by Ian Cruikshanks, who plays for our old-time dancing quite a lot. And it's Belle Valsen. It's Pretty Waltz, and it was arranged by Ian Holmes. Now, Ian Holmes hasn't been too well lately, and I send my best wishes to him for the future.
Indeed, we all do from Take the Floor. Thanks again to you, Jessie.
Thank you, Robbie. It was a pleasure to be here.
Ian Cruikshank and the band there with Belle Valsen by Ian Holmes and played for a Viennese swing. On second accordion was the late Johnny Murray. Thanks again to Jessie for a most interesting and entertaining chat, and happy retirement to you from teaching, at least.